I'm Josh Harris, Associate State Director for AARP Illinois. We're so glad to welcome you to this exciting event. AARP knows this pandemic has been trying on us all, threatening the health and financial security of millions of Americans 50 plus. That's why it is our pleasure to bring you this night of levity, some fine art, and great music to help us all recharge, connect, and address some of the social isolation we know people are feeling at this time. It's our way of reminding you that AARP Illinois is here for you, fighting to protect 50 plus voters and make your voice heard on the issues that matter. Protecting Social Security and Medicare, lowering prescription drug prices, and ensuring you can vote safely from home or in person. So enjoy the next 2 hours with Gallery Gashard, 95.1 Chicago, and the talented Nick Coleon and Teresa Griffin. And in the days leading up to the election, know that you can visit aarp.org/IL for more information to help you vote safe in 2020 and make your voice heard.
All right, hi, and welcome to the Phantom Gallery Chicago Network. You're here at the Bronzeville Artist Lofts on 47th Street. This development has been here since 2014, and we're participating in the Bronzeville Art District trolley tour. We have turned our space into a virtual space, and we're on the second floor, 205, Phantom Gallery Chicago Network. I'm going to be displaying work from my collection, which is the grandmother circle. Some of the works are part of the matriarch series that I'm doing of my grandparents, and some of the other work are works that are collections of other artists that have participated in shows in the past. A little bit about a Phantom Gallery Chicago Network. We're a group and a collective group of artists that show. We have our own practice. We're doing a virtual studio where we're calling artists in their spaces. This month, I'm being featured, myself, Alpha Bruton. I am an artist. Talver Germany, she is in Mather, California, and she is a practicing artist as well as an art professor. Our other artist that we are featuring is Renee Baker. And Renee Baker is our resident artist, and she has an artillery gallery here inside the loft. Our loft space is a space that I run programming out of. The Phantom Gallery is a charitable trust, and it is a nonprofit, and we work with artists and do like workshops, we do professional development trainings, and before the pandemic, we did pop-ups in alternative exhibition space. We have always been a virtual studio where we do blog talk radio. We also interview artists in other cities and showcase their art. So that is why this summer we're saying virtual studio openings. All right, so the work that I'm displaying is part of the Grandmother Circle. This is an assemblage piece. And it's titled Miss Bessie Coleman. And it's around grandmothers, and if you have a grandmother, sometimes they take things loose. They may take a hat and redesign it. They may take clothes for Sunday morning, and they always take and repurpose their clothes or hats. And so this is what I've done with this piece and how I do my assemblage work, by taking things apart and then putting them back together and forming a composition. I was asked by Gerald Griffin Gallery to be part of a matriarch exhibition, and so he asked 5 artists from Chicago to show their work and what it means to be the matriarch. And I am the matriarch of my family, and I've been that for over 24 years. I've been the matriarch of our family. So these pieces here, and they're assemblage as well on wood, and they are kind of telling a narrative and a story about my family. This piece here is, if you look at it, you could tell it looks like you're in water, and it's about us leaving Africa and on our voyage, and by was my grandmother's favorite hymn. And so I put the waves in it, and images and collages in it to represent my grandmother on my mother's side, Mama Creasy. This piece is assemblage on wood, and it depicts the scrub board, the washing board, when back in the day when people went outside and they did laundry and used the clothesline, right? And so I put those elements in for outdoors as part of what people did when they're in the countries. My family is from the northern Texas area, and they had a farm, and we always talk about reparations and 40 acres and a mule. Well, my family got the 40 acres and a mule, and and so that's part of what I was doing with this image here, is showing, a lot of this is tobacco, and they grew they didn't really grow cotton, but they were farmers. All right, these pieces here are by artist Lollipopflamandu, and he was part of our experimentalism exhibition that happened last summer. He's presenting these armatures as wire, and he has these concrete blocks that he created. He is a scientist, and he does a lot of work in concrete, and that transfers into his art when he goes into the digital art and abstract work. This exhibit was called Experimentalism, and I had invited 3 artists, and in their work they do a lot of experimentation. I collected this piece from artist Phil Cotton, and it's called Fetch Piece, and it's made of wood and found objects. This is part of a modernism exhibition. There's an art movement called postmodernism that a lot of African Americans participated in, and we're really not known in that era when we talk about art. So I invited artists that their work has influenced by postmodernism to exhibit. Lois Stone was also an artist as part of that exhibit last year. Interesting enough, these wings came from T. Rock Moore, and T. Rock Moore, she did a huge installation on art and social justice and was featured at Gallery Gauchard, and she got national press, for her Michael Brown piece. And I went to New Orleans, and artists trade art with each other, so I inherited the wings from her installation. So I came back and I used these wings as part of an installation when and I change it out and change it in when I'm working on social justice work, and use her pieces like that. Some of the other work that I have on this wall are artists like Nick Cologne. He did these social justice pieces here, and I collect some of his work. And then you'll see Roger Carter has some found objects here that he left, and the Phantom Gallery inherited those pieces that he didn't want to take with him, so I show his work sometimes. These works that are in the corner here, these are artist Afro Cobra. They were donated to the gallery. We had a large art donation, and because we're a charitable trust, and we get things that are donated, then I have like an inventory that I can have artists, give to other artists that they need supplies or whatever. So we're in the annex or the artillery gallery of our resident artist, Renee Baker. Renee Baker is known in the classical world as a composer and a violist. She is known and does huge projects with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. She's had exhibitions at the Museum of Contemporary Art. Renee and I are going to do a collaboration in 2021 at the Boston Museum of Modern Art, of course in Boston. If you go online and Google Renee, because she has a huge repertoire of work that she does in the classical world, but she's here in Brownsville at the Phantom Gallery as a resident artist, and she does a lot of experimental work. She also does experimental film, and we do pop-ups on the horizontal landscape, basically outside, and we do projections. When it wasn't COVID, we'd be outside and we'd be doing projections with experimental film. But this installation is called Because We Are Nature, And she did it in partnership with a poet by the name of John Cone. And it's called An Inspiration from Poet John Cone, Application for Life. Because we are in nature is a surreal environment that shows how pleased we are with ourselves. Because we are in nature is an exhibition of our everyday life and fears. Too fat, too skinny, did we leave the stone on? Are our teeth too yellow? Scared of worms and turnips? The taste of fingernail clippings are too ugly? Are your panty lines showing? Frightened of bees and electric wiring? We are components of nature and fears. Because we are nature is our lives birthing anew every moment. We're alive and beyond, stepping into the sunlight of our casual journeys. And so from that is how she started working with the assemblage pieces that are on display here.